Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be back with you after a little bit of a vacation, which I really needed. And we're going to talk a little bit about that more as we go on about this taking time out of our busy lives to connect in with our divine inspiration, which is a great lead in and segue to what we're going to be talking about today. We are here for our final segment on the Sermon on the Mount, Your Ultimate Business Strategy Guide. So we've been talking about the message that Jesus gave on the Mount, Sermon on the Mount, and how we can apply it to building our faith-based businesses. And this is really profound in so many ways because everything that Jesus taught, everything in the Bible, which really is a metaphysical training guide, is showing us how everything in our lives is taught to us, how to react, how all of our humanness, all of our divine connection is all explained to us in the Bible teachings. And so the Sermon on the Mount is one of the most effective ways to really understand what our human existence is all about and how we should live our lives in order to get that peace and prosperity and purpose that Jesus has promised us, and so much more, right? Joy and freedom. And for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, I am Janet Clark. I am the founder of WIN, the Women's Impact Network, and also the YouTube channel here, The Freedom Shift, which is for helping entrepreneurs to create their faith-based businesses. So let's talk a little bit about this last teaching here. If you've missed the others, I think we've had 4 different episodes so far about the Sermon on the Mount. And we looked at the Beatitudes and the different ways that Jesus has taught us to live our lives and to go after our prosperity as well. And so let's begin today with the words from Matthew. When Jesus said, "When you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and on the street corners and to be seen by men." Instead, Jesus instructs us to pray to the Father, which is in secret, and the Father, which sees in secret, shall reward thee openly. This teaching isn't so much just about prayer, but it's really the cornerstone of Jesus' teaching of how we connect with God, and that we could also use that teaching to apply to all areas of our life. But in our case, we're going to apply it to our faith-based business. And as I mentioned, the Bible itself is a textbook in metaphysics. It's a manual for the soul's development and the spiritual awakening. So because we are entrepreneurs, we are also Christian entrepreneurs, we know that our business is our calling. So we're not just doing this in order to make a living, but we're doing it because we're called to serve. But at the same time, as entrepreneurs, we all feel this pressure to present a perfect image to the world, to our clients, because we want our clients to look up to us and respect us, and also to our peers, because we want to feel like we're worthy to be in that same arena with others who are doing something similar. But there is something different about you, and there's something different about me. And that is that we're each called individually. We're individual souls, and we all have an individual purpose. And there's no other soul that is like us. And so we all have to be pioneers in a lot of ways with our own business. So today I want to discuss with you 7 truths that are taught to us by Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount. And these 7 truths will truly transform how you go about your life and your business. So the first is that Jesus calls our consciousness the secret place. And that's really what this is about today, is that secret place, meaning your own consciousness. And this is where everything starts and ends. It's with our own consciousness. And it is where, if you don't like the results that you're seeing right now, you have a vision that you want to create, this is where change has to occur. It's not going to happen outside of you. It's not going to happen even by the coach you invest in or the programs that you invest in. The change has to start right within your own consciousness. And in your business, while we know that these other external actions are important, the actions that you take in your business are really reflections of your inner state. And so it's really critical to put aside time each day to start your day with reflection. So I always say start in the secret space or the secret place, that place where you know you can connect with your divine knowing, your inner guidance, and your connection to your higher power, God. And so the second truth is that you are the king of this kingdom, and you get to decide what the conditions are that are within your own kingdom. So that means that you get to decide on your own health, wealth, and freedom from fear. And this might seem daunting, but it's actually very empowering. And your business success also starts in your mind. So it's going to be a great exercise for you if you would take a few minutes, maybe just do it now, pause this if you need to, or just do it as I'm talking, and write down what you believe about your business. What is the purpose of your business? Who are you here to serve? And what is in the way? Because whatever it is that's in the way of your success is going to limit you from being empowered to take that next leap into the next level where you can actually succeed with your business. And so once you realize what is in the way, that's a negative. You are going to start working on that, which Emmett Fox in the book, The Sermon on the Mount, which is what this whole series has been based on, is this book, what he calls treatment, right? Treating whatever thoughts you have so that you can reverse them. So if they're negative, you turn them into a positive. And you really have to do this with faith. So you want to turn your negative beliefs into positive, faith-filled beliefs. And so it's really important that you write down the positive. So you cancel the negative. Whatever you wrote down that's negative, that's a problem, that's in the way, you can scratch it out if you need to, and then actually write the opposite, write the positive down. And so the more you can put on paper what is true and positive, the more you're fulfilling it. There's that connection with what you write and what your mind is perceiving, what your eyes are seeing. So you want to feed positivity into that secret place. And then the third thing is to know the truth, because the truth sets you free. And all of your difficulties, all of my difficulties arise from wrong thinking. And if your business is struggling, and I know I've been there, this has been a crazy, not good year from the outside from my business. So a lot has transpired this year where I've lost a significant portion of my income. Now, fortunately, I have multiple streams of income. But when I look at what has gone wrong with my business, I have to realize that a lot of it is my perception of, is it wrong? Or is this a revamping of my mission? Is it a negative or is it a positive? Because maybe with the focus that I had, so I've lost a major client this year, let's say it that way. And that major client was taking a lot of my headspace, was taking a lot of my time and attention. Did that need to go in order for something else to come in? And I'm going to be talking at the end of this about something new that I'm launching. Maybe that could have never happened if I didn't have this sort of a dip in opening up of space and time and headspace and thought process and all of that. I don't know yet because I'm not on the other side of it. But what I have to believe is that everything happens for good and that God has a plan for my life. And God, because I have chosen to co-create with God and I have asked God for what I want, which is to serve and to fulfill my mission, I just don't know exactly what that's going to look like as I'm going through it. And some of the things that are happening, which may appear negative from my perspective, may in fact be the exact thing that is allowing this new business to unfold. So I am staying positive in that, and I have to work on this just the way that you are. So I always say that the things I teach are the things that I need to remind myself and learn myself. So know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So when you are facing a business challenge in the same way that I have been, ask yourself, what truth am I not seeing here? And again, this is a great journaling exercise to, it's fine to acknowledge what may be negative and then to take the time to actually ask God, what are the positives that will come out of this? And write those down so that you are now starting to feed this positivity back into the secret place. And remember that I've been asking God for some changes. I've been asking God for a new mission, a higher level of service. And when I ask, I always receive, but I don't always receive it in the exact way that I thought I wanted it. And so perhaps what's happening now is the exact thing I asked for. I don't see it yet. So we'll move on to number 5, which is, did I do number 4? No, somehow I skipped number 4. Okay, so number 3 was know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And so the 4th is that the inner causes the outer, not vice versa. Okay, so something happened to my business on the outside that I don't think I caused, right? I wasn't expecting it to happen. What, though, did happen within me that opened up this opportunity for this to fall apart, right? And for it not to work out. And so nothing of significance is going to happen in my life unless I am allowing it in my consciousness. Okay. So anything that is changing within me, anything that I am seeing as negative, anything that I am worried about or fretting about or stressing about is something I am allowing within my own domain, my dominion, my kingdom. Again, my business circumstances are a reflection of my inner state. And as I go forth making business decisions, and sometimes the choices that I'm making in one area are impacting something on the other area, and I don't even realize that. But because I shifted my attention and my consciousness from that, it totally changed that because my thought process went away from it. So this is all really profound and really deep, but I hope that it's just starting to get your wheels turning as well, to start taking accountability for whatever is going on in your life, whether it's good or whether it's bad, and realizing that you're creating and accepting it within your own consciousness. As you go forward making business decisions, making sure that you are aligning your inner thoughts with the divine and with God wants for you. And so, number 5 is that you can choose which thoughts to accept or reject. If you don't want certain consequences in your business, then you have to stop thinking about them. And so the more energy we put on something that doesn't feel right. Now, let's say this, change is inevitable, right? I'm losing a customer or a major client, maybe not through my own consciousness, right? Maybe because the world changes, but it's how I view that and how that impacts my energy levels and my income levels. That's where it's me accepting that as a negative, if that's what's happening, as opposed to opening up to a new opportunity, which in my case, I didn't want to replace. So say I had just wanted to replace that client, I don't really want to. And so my attention is focused on something else. So I am choosing which thoughts that I'm going to accept, and I am choosing which thoughts I'm going to reject. And this is a practice where we have to start thinking about what we are allowing ourselves to accept or reject as thoughts that come in. And I probably will teach about this from now till the day I die. And the reason is because if I don't teach it, I'm not going to continually remember to reinforce it in myself. So that which we teach is something that becomes second nature to us and we learn it. And it's so deep, it's so profound, and it's so amazing that it's important to continue to talk about it. And so I would encourage you also to start reading about this, start teaching it to others. And the more you teach it, the more you're going to understand it. We can consciously replace negative thoughts with positive faith-filled thoughts, but we have to consciously do it. Okay, number 6, to have peace, prosperity, purpose, joy, freedom, health, whether it's in our life or in our business, we have to get rid of the feelings of anger, resentment, jealousy, spite, illness, or any kind of lack or fear. These are negative emotions and they bring trouble. Now, did Jesus ever get angry? Of course. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to sit in anger. We don't want to have that anger lead to resentments. We don't want to allow ourselves to feel jealous because somebody else is doing better than we're doing in the business world. We don't want to feel spiteful because something didn't work out that we were doing with our business. Or I've had so many people in the last couple of months that, have rejected me in some way, turned away from a partnership that we had or an agreement that we had. And does that mean that I am going to resent them? Does that mean that I'm going to be angry? Does that mean that I'm going to entertain thoughts of spite, that I don't want them to be happy or that I don't want them to succeed? Of course not. Yes, it's hard and it hurts sometimes. But if I trust God and I trust in Jesus, I can totally know that they weren't meant to be the people who were going to walk with me to the next level up the mountain. They're going in another direction, and that is okay, right? We all have to allow people to come and people to go, and people are here for a reason, and people are here for a season, and we are each individually on our own journey. And as I said early, when we started this training a few minutes ago, we're unique. Our soul is on its very own journey. And while we can sometimes walk with other people along the path, there are times when we're going to find ourselves alone because where we're going is a different place. And so it's just really important to keep our emotions in check as we go on through this. And again, God gave us emotions, so we're supposed to feel the emotion, but we're not supposed to stay in it. especially in the negative ones, right? We don't want to stay in the positive emotions. And we do have that opportunity. We can stay in peace and we can focus our minds on prosperity and all that we have in abundance and love and peace and joy and all of that, even if we have to continually bring ourselves back into that state. And finally, number 7 is a really cool one. We don't create good. The good is already there. We just have to go out and find it and live in it and manifest it and realize it because it's there. We don't have to create it. God already created the good. And so for us, this is a journey. It's a journey to joy. It's a journey to goodness. It's a journey to being. It's a journey to health and prosperity and wealth and all of the wonderful things that we can partake of in this world. They're all right there. And so each day we want to be affirming that we know that good exists and that it's for us and our business is going to participate in the goodness of God. And so we just need to thank God for it and we just continue to manifest it. Now, look, I understand that all of this is not easy. And some of us get caught up in conducting our business under false principles. And we do it because we have the world telling us things. We're impressionable. It's easy for people to get into our heads and to shift our thinking. And so what we want to be able to do is make sure that we don't build our business for the good of money, simply for the good of money, or simply for prestige or power or accolades from others. That we are, because we are Christian and we are mission driven and we are faith based, that we do stay in that light of Christ as we build our business, recognizing that we are going to find our way to wealth and prosperity and abundance. Those are all part of it. However, if that's our only focus, God has told us we can't follow two gods. It can't be God and money. It's got to be one or the other. The money comes as a result of us building a business. And that's the reason we build a business in our world today, right? The business part of it, the capitalistic part of it is so that we have the money and the resources that we need to do the good work in the world. But the priority has to be service. It has to be God. And we have to continually remind ourselves what we're aligning ourselves with in our own inner mind, right? What we have in there in our consciousness is our connection with God and the divine. So as you're growing closer to God and you're fulfilling your own purpose in this life, we are going to start recognizing all of the benefits and the rewards for doing that. And for those of you who are realizing that you can't do this alone, I know I can't do it alone. It's going to require a collaborative effort. And we have to keep surrounding ourselves with other Christians who are going to remind us that we have our own secret place. We have a way to connect with God. We do have the answers within us, but sometimes we do need to be reminded about that. And so we do want to surround ourselves with other like-minded, mission-driven people, entrepreneurs. And so if you're a woman and you are looking for that sort of a group, we have the free Facebook group, which is called WIN, the Women's Impact Network. The link is in the description. Please come and join us there. And otherwise, stay connected to this channel, this Freedom Shift channel. Sign up and subscribe and sign up for the notifications so that you will know when I go live and we can stay connected. And very soon, I'm going to be launching a brand new membership program. This is the calling and the mission. That's probably the reason why some other things had to fall apart so that we could open space for this. But this membership program is going to be launching in the fall, which is only a few weeks away. And if you are connected here, you will be one of the first people to be able to join our membership program. And it is going to be a game changer, a life changer, a spirit changer, a soul enhancing experience. So I appreciate you all for being here, for listening to this. And until next time, I want to send you all my love. I want to send you my prayers. I want to send you peace. I hope you will spend a little time in your secret place. And until next time, bye for now.